Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So right now, if you're living inside BC and you own your own property, then keep watching this video. I will be telling you how you may be able to make use of the government's Property Tax Deferment program. So what is Property Tax Deferment Program? It is a government benefit that it's only offered for British Columbia residents. If you qualify, you can defer your property tax payment. You do have to eventually paying back with interest stacked on top, but the idea is to help family to create extra budget so they can spend elsewhere. So who qualifies for this program? Well, there are basically two major groups. The first group are for people who owns a property and if they're taking care of a child that is under 18 right now. Now the second group that can qualify if one or more owner of the property are over 55, or if your spouse has passed away and you're a surviving spouse. In this case, no age limit. And lastly, if you're someone with disability, you may also be able to apply for this program. Now I'm going to leave a couple links below to guide you to specific program and their requirements. So in order to qualify, you have to be a citizen or PR status. You have to be one of the registered owner of the property. Live in BC 1 year prior to application. You do not owe any property tax in the prior years. So in addition, your property also have to qualify for the following. 1, it has to be your principal residence. 2, the property on your property tax bill has to be classified as a residential property or what we call a class 1. And 3, for family with kids under 18, you must have at least 15% ownership in the house. Meaning if your property is worth $1 million right now, your mortgage plus all the property tax you're about to defer plus other debt on the house cannot be over $850K. And for people who are over 55 applying for this program, for your equity requirement, now it goes from 15% and increase to 25% for this group. So let's talk about all the interest and fees you have to pay. The BC government actually is going to apply a pretty low interest rate for this program. For family with kids under 18, they will charge an interest rate of prime rate, which is 3.95% right now. And for people who are over 55 applying for this program, they would be charging a prime -2, which is 1.95% right now. Keep in mind, all the interest rates are not compounded and there's simple interest. So this will significantly lower your long-term costs. In addition, when you first time apply, you will have to pay a $60 admin fee, which will be put on top of your total loan balance. So you do not have to pay this $60 upfront. Now, after that, every year when we renew, you will have to pay a $10 renewal fee. So when and how we can apply for this? You can apply actually anytime during the year. However, the government actually recommends you to apply after you receive your most recent property tax bill. You also have the option to apply after your property tax deadline. However, if you apply after that, you will be charged a penalty which you have to pay upfront. Now, as a side note, if you're living in Vancouver right now, usually you have two different payments. You pay half in the beginning of the year and you pay another half by July. In this case, it's recommended you pay the first half of your property tax first and then you apply for property tax deferment when you get the second part of your property tax bill. And after that, every year you can defer the whole property tax payment from now on. Alright, let's talk about how you can apply for this program then. Usually you can do it in person at City Hall. However, due to COVID-19, they strongly encourage everybody to apply online. And before you apply, you will need the following things: your SIN number and your date of birth, and preferably if you have your property tax form at hand. So to apply, you will have to click the link in my description below. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump into it and walk you guys through how to do this online. Alright, so if we go into the link, we're going to see that right away it asks us for our roll number to log in. Now, if you have your most recent property tax form, your roll number will be listed on top. However, if you don't have it, it's okay. We can just click that we don't have our roll number. So you can just type all your personal information in right now. And then if you click next, it will take you to the next page and it will ask you the last name of the owner shown on BC assessment. And then it will ask you for what kind of ownership you have for this property. And then if you click next, it's going to confirm with you which person you want to apply this under. You only have to apply this with one person. You do not have to apply this with every single person. Then you can just enter the personal data. So once you click next, it's going to ask you for all the qualification that I just mentioned. Now, anytime that you can't actually apply, you don't qualify, they'll tell you right away that you don't qualify. So just answer everything truthfully and then we can click next. And then here at number 5, it's going to ask you about the equity estimation. This is the 15% or the 25% equity I just mentioned. So what you can do is you can just enter the outstanding mortgage balance if you have one, And then if you have any line of credit for this property, you can also enter it. Personal line of credit doesn't count here. And then next is they will actually calculate the equity with you because they already have the estimated value of your property. And lastly, they will ask you which program you will wish to register under. Let's say we're a regular program in this case. So from here, you can actually enter all your personal contact information, verify your address with Canada Post. Once it's been verified, you can click next again. Now, I'm not going to click next here because I don't qualify, but from here and on, you basically have completed your application, and they will also ask you if you want to do an auto renewal every year, and that one's really up to you. If you don't auto renew every year, you do have to manually renew, or else this program will stop and you have to start paying your property tax again. And after you're done, you can also come back to the same link with your login, and then you can check how your application status is doing. Alright, so I just went through all the application process. Now let's talk about some of the things you need to be aware of before you apply. Number one is this is not free money. You do have to pay it back eventually, so be very aware of that. Number two, the moment you apply for this, the government will put a lien on your house because you technically owe them money now. What that means is if you were to sell your house in the future, you would have to pay this back first. What it also means is you will not be able to refinance your property with another bank. You would have to pay this back before you can apply with another mortgage company, or else you would be stuck with renewing with your current bank. This is something you need to be very careful about. So I'll give you a quick tip here. If you want to do this, usually I'll advise the client to get a home equity line of credit on top of what they have currently, or a personal line of credit first, just so in the future, if they really have to pay back the property tax they defer, they can at least access the line of credit as emergency cash to pay it back first. Now, should you be deferring property tax or not? Well, that really depends on your situation. You should really think about what are you going to do with this extra budget. Now, usually when we work with our client on this program, we advise them to look into growing their money for 3 different options. One is for legacy focus, which is leaving extra money for their kids. 2, creating extra retirement income. Or lastly, is a combination of the 2. Now, you're thinking about applying this and growing your money in the future, I highly recommend you watch this video on the left, which I will explain in detail the power of compounding in investment. And if you're wondering about real estate in the future, you can also watch this video on here, which I will talk about the future trend of Canadian real estate. And if you like these contents at my channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button in below. Alright, this is Jackie Ko. I hope you found this interesting. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!